Equals wellness. Precious Mother Love, season 9 of Heart Happy Hour. I am trying a new angle today. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I wanted to be able to get back on the road. I don't seem to be able to have. I don't seem to be able to have a place on this. Let me see. Let me go two more in. Anyway, one love and wellness family. Trying to get my music together. Bear with me. I'm only human. Hey. So I'm back on the road to DC, and I just wanted to share a few things. I started something yesterday about the dog days of summer, and I kind of feel like I've been talking about this for years now. And everybody talks about it, when the Sirius Sun, or when the Sirius Star series or star cluster or system, when it aligns with our sun in a specific way, it amplifies. They roast us, for those 40 days. I think it's July 3rd to August 11th or something like that this year. It takes a lot of death toll. It takes, there are a lot of people who, let me see. Oh, damn, I'm not in the right lane. I'm gonna have to get over here like this, and it's gonna be kind of rough to get through, but I'll go this way when it does give me an opportunity. Okay, so anyway, oh my gosh, I got you on there, and I'm doing my wiggle waggle way through this traffic book to get back on BW Parkway. So anyway, yes, the dog days of summer, and I talked about big dogs yesterday because I started feeling like, I think what I just did was a big dog move. You have to think a certain way when you think in a certain way. The different options come to mind, different ways of handling things. The solutions are there. It's just what solutions, what set of solutions do you choose from? So if I say, stopping with the big dogs, or swimming with the whales, or what the heck, stomping around with the elephants, for real, because I smash elephants in the room a lot of times. So let me turn the music off. But Ashe, Heart Happy Hour, Love plus Art equals wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love, and welcome to season 9. Yesterday was the first day, the first episode, and I'm not sure, but I'm feeling like every day I got something I need to say, and I better start saying it, because the more I save it, the more I never get back to it, and then the timing is gone, and then it's no longer the right time for this, to strike the iron while it's hot. Drop it while it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. But yeah, so excuse me. So I do feel a difference in the energies, like, us as melanated folks. This sun amps us up. This energizes us. This gives us like a boost. Like, yeah, you might get a little extra rest during these times of, do they say the lazy days of summer? I think so. But, dog days are not lazy days. It's just that it's absorbing, it's requiring a lot of energy to process what these downloads are doing. We got some downloads coming like crazy. I can only speak for myself, but I hear others. I hear them talking, saying they're up on their downloads as well. They're getting up on the downstroke. My funketeer comes out every once in a while. I saw George Clinton on the BET Awards, and to some degree, it's all pomp and circumstance. It's a dog and pony show. It is not the kind of place for the truest well, not the expression or exposure, but for the truest recognitions. We got a lot of backtracking and revisiting and revising and restructuring. That's what this particular full moon is about in particular. But whenever Mercury retrogrades, it's also the same time. You're going to revise, review, whether it's relocate, release. There's a lot of, you know, double double takes. Look twice, look again. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Right now Mercury is retrograde in Cancer. Cancer is the sun sign, or so, the sun is in Cancer right now. So there is, a lot of home base, family, the foundation, the groundwork, the super sensitivities. Cancers are super sensitive, not only in the form of energy and motion and sensing, but they are, as far as the super sensitivity, they are able to rise above. They're very sensitive to the is it extraterrestrial these days, extra sensory perception. I don't know why I went to extraterrestrial or ultra terrestrial or multi-terrestrial. Those words have been playing a lot in my vocabulary lately, in such that I'm now learning more and more how that applies. Just the same way polychronic has unfolded for me as well, because polychronic, if you refer to what's going on with Mercury in retrograde, which is basically it's slowing down, it finally taking a pause, and then it regenerating or restarting, and then beginning to move again. So the Mercury retrograde is more about the shifting of the perspectives. Things that were synchronizing don't synchronize as well. That began I believe it was considered fully, well, I said, this. So these dog days, this Mercury retrograde, this full moon, all of those kind of lined up together to give us the energy. It's so hot, I'm burning up. Why do I think I can sing sometimes? Sometimes I belt it out. But in any case, I'm not looking down at the screen yet. I'm about to do that. But how y'all doing out there? Y'all all right? One Love and Wellness. Thank you for joining me. Love+Art equals wellness today. Dog days of summer in DC, man. I'm in the nation's capital, and the temperature, not just the temperature, the temperament of this location, this geological plot, this place, this, I was going to say grid, but in any case, its temperament is different. Yes, it is heating up. This is crazy, but I'm gonna mention this in the way that I took it, was how can you have a state fair if you're not a state? But anyway, the other day, DC's state fair began. Now, at first readings, because this isn't something we're used to. Perhaps if it happened every year, there'd be more of a participation. But every year, we have a whole bunch of stuff that's happening on the monument grounds and all around the museums. All of that has had to shift and could be with good reason, because these things that we're doing in moving things around publicly could very well be deterrence, purposeful deterrence. The traffic redirection and the roping off, and all the streets doing something different, could be very well to keep the safety factors in place, to keep the public safe, but the private safe as well. The folks that are in their private offices on that big hill, next to those to the Whites. I mean the White House. Oh gosh, did I say that? And so it is something that I'm stuck in traffic now, trying to loop around this daggone city to make my way to the other side. I apologize. I hope this phone doesn't overheat. But we are gathered again today. Does that help? That doesn't help at all. I was trying. Sorry about that. The sun, the way the sun is, it's definitely foggy. Maybe I'll pull it up and put it in my hand. Shay, I think that might be better. Okay. In my hand, up a little higher. Shay. All right. So, the dog days of summer, the Sirius star system is definitely, heating up the place. And they say, because I looked at the death toll and the frequency, like every year since 2020, I think there were like 1,500 that passed in the year of 2020 I think this is nationwide, from the dog days of summer. Because I think they said, New York was tallying their dog days, and it was, let me see, last year was 50 some was their contribution to that number. And then this year, so far this year, I believe, and this is crazy because this is just before the dog days. It's supposedly 150 people whom have passed from this dog days heat. Maybe including those folks overseas. Who've recently had some elevated temperatures. The concerned folks, the folks that have shut the CERN down, the folks that have put that on pause for whatever reasons. That's a big deal. So things speed up in the heat, and heat causes things. The bubbles or the things to so it speeds up. Uh, um, the molecules, the frequencies, whatever, speed up as they get heated. So, in any case, love plus art equals wellness. I have recently gone back to making jewelry. I had taken a pause for the cause. I had a number of things that were calling my attention for me to focus on, and I was unable to free myself enough to be creative at those times. And I could have been creative, but a lot of times I choose not to, based on the energies that I'm in. If I'm not in the correct energy or the proper energy for creating a tool that I believe is full of energetic healing energies, the tools are combined with the crystal copper, combined with the crystal energies. I calibrate them to be an extension of our thoughts, to connect the thoughts onto and to utilize their energies for our own purposes. I use the primordial spirals. I use magnetism, electromagnetism, because feminine energy is spiraling in, masculine energy is spiraling out. So electricity is spiraling out and magnetism is spiraling in. So those two relate in that way. In that way, I also, as I said, I calibrate these tools, the crowns, the staffs, the earrings, as you see. I am trying to be a little more feminine these days, and so therefore I've got to take this next exit. So therefore I have on a spiraling in on this yellow crystal energy. I would like to say it's citrine, but I cannot be certain. I know that it is a yellow crystal. And and it would most likely be related to, that have on all this yellow, it would be related to the solar plexus, the energy. I call it sunny, funny money, because it relates to the sun. The sun is it's hot. Anyway, it's for the belly, the solar plexus, the sunny. It lightens your mood. It lifts your mood as well as tickles your tummy. So you might feel, a little bit, things are kind of funny to you, as it lifts your spirit. Interesting that I would go into trying to explain something as I'm trying to finagle my way through traffic. We're see that for sure it is citrine, but citrine is a merchant stone. It assists you with budgeting your money, with being able to expand the usage of that money within your budget. So it's time for me to wear my citrine. As I mentioned, I'm on a fixed budget these days, so that's how my life can be enhanced. This energy is enhancing the budgets that I must be tuned into to make it work. So I think that's about it for my time today. I had a few things that I wanted to share. I think I'm going to keep these daily activities short. So one love and wellness, love plus art equals wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love. You're listening to Heart Happy Hour Season 9, Episode 2. All right, now let's see what's going on the screen. I got some thumbs up there. Hey guys, I wish I could see these letters well enough. Oh, you're in Poland. I see that letter. I'm coming to a stoplight, so I should be able to. I'm coming to a stoplight, so I should be able to read this. What does that say? Go there. Oh, okay. Dedelingo, 35. Hi, Dedelingo. How are you? Myrosan 274. Myrosan 274, what it do, you? And then in Poland, that's where you are. Mirasan, I think it's Mirasan 274. Well, one love and wellness family, thanks for hanging out with me real quick. That's about the size of it for today. I'll see you again next time. Hey. Just so that you know, that music is from my brother from the same mother, Lonnie Beats, Nat Love. He is the author and composer, producer, engineer, all those things. Mastery of the arts. He is a percussionist. He plays drums, and he also plays congos and probably timbales and all those other things, with the go-go sound that DC does on that percussion tip. So one love and wellness family. Ashe.